Hello, Miss Kittis. Welcome back to Seen and Heard podcast, where everyone should be seen and heard. Hello.
Hi.
Our topic tonight is being held hostage by the gun lobby and the NRA and the state of America under siege. Because that's basically what we are, is under siege with the gun violence. So I'm gonna open up with this here. The conversation like I was having with my son the other night, and this guy tweeted the same thing. He said guns weren't allowed in towns in the Wild Wild West. They were turned in to the sheriff until you were leaving town. Good thing we now have the Second Amendment. Oh wait. I mean, I mean, I mean, you gotta laugh to keep from crying because I'm in shock that this is where we are. This is where we are as a country. I mean,
Well,
okay, we're gonna go back to Shinzo Abe. So Japan, like I talked about how they have very strict gun laws in Japan.
hmm
So
and yet
everybody,
there was an assassination.
yeah. So the guy that assassinated him had to literally go online to learn how to build a gun because it's that
hmm
tough to get a gun in Japan. I mean,
hmm
they even charge for the ammo. If you get ammo, they're going to charge you for each piece of ammo. I mean, they're not playing.
And still, they're a country in mourning.
Yeah, they're mourning because it was so shocking because I remember watching it as it happened, like in real time, because I was watching it on the news source on YouTube that I watched, and I was like, I was actually trying to translate the comments because I was like, there was a shooting because first they showed him talking, and then the next thing they showed was the pow 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 pow, and then everybody scattering. And the reason everybody was so shocked was because they're not used to that. They don't have that in their country. They don't have that in Japan. So
hmm
everybody was looking around thinking, okay, is this part of his speech? Is this like, are there fireworks and stuff like that? Like they even have regulations on fireworks, but their first assumption was fireworks, not guns.
Well, the gun lobbyists here are the power wielders. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think Magnum PI is a silent member of the NRA. I read that somewhere, not sure. So definitely that needs to be fact checked, but I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere.
Don't they make silencers or something?
Hmm?
Magna PR. Don't they specialize in like, well, besides the
No,
Magna?
no, the TV show, Tom Selleck.
Oh, really?
I
That's
read that
why he's on the board. He's on the
right.
board.
He's a solid member on the board. You're absolutely
He's
correct.
on the board, the NRA board.
And
I
I have
forgot
not
about
looked,
him.
huh?
I forgot about him. Yes, he's on the board.
Yep. And I haven't looked at his show since.
Yeah, he's on. Okay,
None
so
of the shows,
yeah,
not
he's on
Blue.
that. The blue. The what is that one with the Cops family? The Irish
hmm
cop family.
hmm Blue something another.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's right. Because I remember, well, and I forgot about him because like my mom used to watch his shows when she was alive. Well, and that was all that was on TV then too. She used to like all his shows, and now he's like,
I did too, but after I found that out,
right.
I'm like, oh no, I cannot.
No, that's right. Let me pull that up. Yeah, Tom Selleck is on the NRA board. Let me find that. Okay, Time select word. Okay, hold on a second. Yep, I'm pulling it up right here.
And sometimes we just have to go deep diving to see who all who all supports what. And then we just have to make it clear we are not supporting we will not support you any longer.
That's what I do with my activism. Like people think I'm overreacting, and I'm like no, because the money using again Amazon, Walmart, the Krogers, all of these mainstream stores, I'm not giving them a cent. I will run on fumes. I will walk. I will hitchhike if I don't have gas in my car to get to my little local Asian market that I trust, that I know everybody. You know, not every Asian market is the same, or every other little home, mom and pop market is the same. But I shop at a particular place that I feel safe and I know the people.
Hmm.
I'm not giving Walmart, Amazon, anything associated with them. That means I don't subscribe to Prime. I don't subscribe to Amazon products, Amazon Prime. Nothing on the TV that's part of Amazon, because that money you give them goes to all of these organizations that we're trying to make a example of. You
Absolutely.
you cannot say you don't support Jeff Bezos or Amazon, but then you come home and sit down and open up Amazon Prime to watch TV shows, because you're still supporting Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
And that is true. And I don't know, somebody was talking about a boycott. And I said the biggest problem with a boycott is an economic boycott.
Hmm.
I, I can commit and you never see my car leave the driveway,
Hmm.
but I can also, like you just said, sit in front of my computer and shop all day and in the comment section say please leave packages on side of the house, so
Right.
anybody who's watching to see if I'm still committed won't see packages on my front porch or in my front yard because they're on the side of the house. So I have not become a real supporter of what I'm being asked to support, so that we send a strong message that we are boycotting Exxon as an example. We are boycotting Walmart as an example. We're boycotting Sam's Club, whatever it is we're boycotting.
Hmm.
If all we're going to do is sit in front of our computer and continue to support the Walmarts or the Sam's Clubs.
Hmm.
Um, we have got to, ride or die.
Right.
Live or die. We've
And
got
go without.
and just go without.
And honestly, the thing that's so distressing to me about all that is, okay, so the way people are conditioned, especially in this country, they're conditioned to uphold capitalism. Okay, these people are not going to care about our protests. They don't care about our cries in the street. They don't care about our emails, our petitions, or anything like that. They care about money. All it would take is that people would commit to even just 10 days of absolute nothing, of buying absolute nothing, supporting absolute, just 10 days, 10.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't you don't even have to commit beyond 10 days, but 10 days would make an impact where they would notice if everybody would commit to doing that, those 10 days.
And the best 10 days would have been right out of COVID,
Yeah.
because folk were excited. They were ready to go shopping. They could hardly wait. And to have said, you know, okay, we're out of COVID, but you know what? we've been asking for things
Mhm.
that you people consistently ignore us and our requests. So now we're just going to boycott. We're going to do an economic boycott for the next 10 days and add that onto the losses that you've already incurred as a result of COVID. That too is it's strategic and it's a powerful way to send a message.
Exactly, and that, but the discipline it takes. I mean, and it really it baffles me because it doesn't take much discipline except for the start date or end date or whatever. Although there shouldn't be an end date for a real impact for economic boycott. But just say hypothetically we had an end date 10 days. I mean, how hard is it for you to go out without something that is still going to be there 10 days
Okay,
later?
I have a funny story to tell.
Okay.
Um, my funny story is in 2021, the very beginning of last year, um, and we were in serious lockdown mode. I had gone to the supermarket, and the supermarket is in a little strip mall. And across on the other end of the strip mall was a Sally's beauty supply place.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that. I just knew there was something on the other side of other end of the strip mall, and there was this long line of my people. I could see that. I mean,
Mhm.
like this line that just wrapped around. So I come from a long line of nosy people in my family. I walk all the way across the parking lot to see what was going on. And I get there, and it's this long, long line of people because at that time, most stores weren't open to the public.
Mhm.
So what the merchants for Sally's beauty supply place did was they got some long tables, put the tables in front of the door so that you stepped up to the table, you took an order blank and you said what you wanted, and then they had, I don't know where they got them from, these little miniature shopping carts, and
Mhm.
then what they would do is pass it to somebody who would go and fill that order and bring it back and pass it out. So the question I had and I still have is, and maybe it's just me, I don't know. I grew up in a house with boys, so I'm not really sure all about that girly stuff. So maybe it's just me. You're in lockdown. You're in your house and you're in lockdown. Why do you need some nails, some polish, some hair,
Oh, this
some
was during lockdown.
yeah. hmm Last year in like January or February, when it was in the height of lockdown, 2021.
Mhm.
Why do you need all that stuff? I mean, I'm just wondering because you're in lockdown. The line was so long, and I'm really serious. That's what caught my attention. This really really long line. What are they doing over there? Yeah, because the stimulus, there was a stimulus check that came, and it was during the time of the stimulus checks. So I'm like, don't tell me people are spending stimulus money
Oh yeah. Oh man.
to get
Yeah.
hair, nails, the gel, the edges gel, and
Right. Right.
all this other stuff. If we just, I'm sorry to say it, if we just boycotted that store for a month,
Mhm.
you could just strategically pick. You could boycott those stores because first and foremost, they get way too much of our money.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying it just because I just opt not to, do all those things with my hair.
Right.
They
Right.
do
I
get,
know exactly what you say. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
and the other thing that if we just boycotted it for a month, and that is the lottery. And I get it. It's fool's gold we're chasing. And,
Hmm.
and and what if we just happen to be the one to win that? I think it's like $500 million now. What
Right.
if I just happen to be the one to win it? Oh my God. I can get a house and a car and travel and buy clothes. And I'm gonna take the cash out.
Hmm.
So if it's 500,000, I'm gonna get about 270,000, $270 million.
And that's not enough, right?
And
That
and
like that wouldn't be enough. Take the
and
taxes because I don't want to see you after this.
exactly, but the issue is now you have $270 million.
Hmm.
So you have $270 million, and you now have inspired everybody in the community to run out and play lottery. And if you are truthful, I still think it's rigged. Ain't
Hmm.
nobody gonna win in that community probably in the next 10 years.
Right.
But you got $270 million. So everybody in the community is standing in line hoping you give them $1 million,
Hmm.
not thinking that, I mean, it's still just $270 million, but you owe me. You remember when I
Right.
let you
Right. Right.
use
Right.
my
Right.
car and my lawnmower? You owe me. So now you have all of these headaches. You got
Hmm.
all these headaches. And you got the family wondering if there's going to be any money left over so that there's a will so that,
Hmm.
they still have some money after you dead. Or you
Hmm.
got somebody, looking at you saying, now, how can I get rid of him so I can get my money right now?
Right. All the time. Yeah. Yeah. That's that.
So all
Yeah.
these crazy things just because, oh, if I could just win, all my troubles would be over.
Hmm.
And that's not true. All your troubles won't be over. Am I saying, is it not nice to win? Yeah, it's nice to win. But how many times did you play the lottery before you won?
Right.
So if we just you can boycott for 30 days and then go back to playing the lottery if you want. But just for 30 days, nobody buys not one ticket, not a dollar ticket. Nobody buys a dollar ticket. Nobody buys anything for the lottery. And we just don't go and give our money to somebody for some fake hair. I got it. I got it. I got it. We all want hair all the way down to our feet. I got that. I do. And I think that's a good thing if you need to have that much hair. But you on lockdown. You don't need no hair. You on
Right.
lockdown. You don't need no eyelashes. You on lockdown.
Right. Right.
You don't need all
You're
of
at
that stuff.
home. That's right. You locked down. You're at
You
home.
on lockdown. In no disrespect to anybody. If I'm in the house and this is supposed to be my man, then yo, dude, you gonna have to take me the way I am. And that might mean my ragged sweatpants and a big old sweatshirt, hoodie sweatshirt. If that's a problem, then okay, bye.
Especially when you know it's going to be temporary. It's not going to
Mhm.
be forever. That's the thing is it's not going to be forever.
Nope.
Especially where it comes to like a financial boycott. It's like
Mhm.
I can't make people understand. It's like I was saying, even like you're saying 30 days, but even the 10 days would make such a statement. 10 days
Mhm. Mhm.
of zero anything for 10
Mhm.
days. Go to work if you still got to go to work, but
Mhm.
don't spend anything in between.
Yeah, you don't even. And I
Nothing.
mean, there's a whole lot you could boycott. No disrespect, you can boycott me. The fast food
Mhm.
establishments.
Right, right. Yep.
Um, because while I was in Chicago, I went in two different fast food establishments. I ain't buy anything, but I was looking for some lemonade, and McDonald's had that frozen stuff I don't like.
Mhm.
And I went to Popeyes, and Popeyes was really crowded, so I just kept walking. But the prices, the prices they charge for the same amount of food, they were charging a whole lot less 10, 15 years ago,
Mhm.
and you're not giving me anything more. Two pieces and a biscuit and a side. Well, I don't know if you get a side. I think it's two pieces and a biscuit. So if we boycott, maybe we can bring the prices down a little bit. Because I don't think I should have to pay like $6 and $7 for something I was paying $3 for 15 years ago. Same
And
thing with.
not only that, there's a shrinkflation, because they're giving you less product, but
Mm-hmm,
have increased the price. So
mm-hmm.
all of the products, even in the grocery store, the cans of soup, everything is there's a shrinkflation on top of an inflation. So all of the products are shrunk, but the prices have gone up. So
And,
we're
and,
getting a
and the
double
other day,
whammy.
oh, we're definitely getting a double whammy. The other day in the post office, they were announcing that increase in a postage stamp. Why are you increasing? Well, because the price of gas went up, but the price of gas is coming down. So you should not be increasing the price of a stamp based upon what you say is the increase in the price of gas when the
Mhm.
price of gas is coming down.
And not only that, too, like I'm not a cheerleader of any politician, but for them to blame it on like Biden, uh, this is a global issue. South Korea, Japan,
Mm-hmm.
Taiwan, everything is going up. Like South
Mm-hmm.
Korea, with our housing problem here in the United States, South Korea was doing that like almost a year or so before it even hit our shores. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
watching how they were treating their people over there, and it was insane how living in the city that people you cannot afford to live in South Korea in the Seoul. Seoul is kind of like our New York City. It's extremely expensive to live in Seoul.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to the outskirts, like way out on the countryside, to kind of have some semblance of a life. I mean, you may have to drive into the city, but of course they got better transportation than we do. So it makes more sense to drive into the city, but you have to go back out to the countryside because people can't live in the city, and they have a lot of these rich people coming in, taking all these old neighborhoods, kicking out the people that used to live there, just like our gentrification here, kicking them out, and then they're building all these expensive skyrise apartments, and it's just insane. This is a global issue. It's not just here. Their gas is high too.
It's all about power and control.
And see, all of those elites in those countries, they meet up with our elites.
Mhm. Oh,
You know,
yes.
when they go to Davos, they're all hanging out together in Davos. That's what Davos is. It's a haven for the world's elites. That they sit around, hang out with each other, making rules for the rest of
Of
us.
course. And the biggest rule is how do we get rid of how do we get rid of all those people who are not like us?
Hmm.
Well, we force them into these communities so that we know exactly where they are.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
then we marginalize them
and try to keep them there.
to keep them there. And then we make sure that they don't have access to resources so that they can um, make a break and get away from those communities and neighborhoods where the resources are so limited. And that's part of the problem with education
That's what
because
I was going to bring
those
up.
those
Betsy DeVos.
exactly.
Betsy, because she just opened her trap yesterday. I was getting ready to pull that up. Betsy,
Betsy said you need to get rid of the Department of Education. I said, yeah,
yeah,
'cause, she screwed it up so bad.
yep.
She know what she talking about because she helped screw
Everybody
it
that
up.
was in that regime and every department that they were installed in, they were in charge of destroying those departments.
And
Every
and,
single
and
one of them.
Betsy did a good job. She did exactly what they told her to do.
I mean, she'd never even been in a school in a public school. Remember that she had to get security. She's never even
She had
walked
to get
into a public
security.
school.
She had to get security because they told her, "Don't come over here. If you come over here, we're gonna chase you back."
Yeah, she. So remember the anniversary of what was her name that walked into the public school? They desegregated the high school. It was the black lady. Remember the scene? The is a you know
Bridgewater.
no the picture. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up. Um, the lady. Let's see. Because I just saw a video on her yesterday, actually, too. The lady that was being yelled at by the palm colored people. Hold on, yeah, the Little Rock Nine. Yeah, it was
Ruby Bridges.
not Ruby Bridges. The other one. It was another one. Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn this around. Along with Ruby Bridges, but no, this was. Let me see. Little Rock Nine. That's Ruby Bridges. This lady here. That's Ruby Bridges there. Still alive. I think she's like 60 something now. But this lady, um, she had to have National Guard bring her to school. Um, she was for the Little Rock Nine. What they didn't put her name on here? Typical. Okay. Hazel Mastery?
Mm. Yeah.
Hazel Ryan Mastery. Yeah, right here.
Oh yeah, the pretty girl with the.
Eckford. Elizabeth Eckford is the student, the black student. Elizabeth Eckford. Hazel was the lady that was screaming at her. But this is Eckford at age 15. And Hazel Massery is directly behind her. So she's 80 years old now, this lady here.
Who is?
Miss Eckford, this black student. She's 80 now. She's still alive. And Hazel Massery is the white lady that was screaming at her.
Look at the, not the one that's screaming, but facing the picture. Look at the two on the right side facing, looking at that picture.
Uh,
Those
th- these two here,
the two that are standing really close to each other with their little. Um,
this one.
one of them has a black clutch bag, and I don't see any.
Oh, okay, yeah, this lady here, I don't know what her name is. The
But
black, yeah,
just
yeah,
look at the hatred on
yeah,
their faces.
yeah. This is the lady here that is, she said, the black student Elizabeth Eckford is jeered by white student Hazel Bryant. That's her right there.
The one behind her.
That's Hazel Bryant right there, and that's Elizabeth
Right.
Eckford,
And
right?
Hazel she just letting
Yeah,
off steam. But
right.
them two, they don't even they show no emotion.
And the crazy the video that I was watching of her yesterday, it was like an update of what happened from that time period up till now.
Hmm.
So they've had several anniversaries of that moment. and those two ladies even got back together. Okay, this is how white supremacy works, and how it's going to be so hard to uproot it and get it out of everything. That lady that was yelling at Elizabeth Hazel, the hateful white lady. So for a moment, she was real nice to her, for photo ops, and they were meeting at the statue and everything like that. Then later on, Miss Elizabeth said that she had talked to her and told her, thank you for the apology, but she didn't really accept it. She told her why. It's because, like, over the years, she still had to deal with, like, post-traumatic stress, depression, everything like that. Even though she went on to college and finished college, she got her degree, she became a speaker and everything like that. But that lady, those white people, just about destroyed her spirit. But she kept going because that's what we do. But she let that lady know, um, thank you. I hear your apology, but it's not, I'm not necessarily accepting your apology because
Mm-hmm.
of what you did and what you and your kind still continue to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
that lady had kids and she raised them that way. That her kids had kids. And I'm very sure that they raised them that way.
Of
Because
course.
those are the people that are breeding and birthing these gun nuts that are running around shooting up the country and holding the rest of us hostage. Those are the women that are breeding and sleeping with and marrying these men that are passing all this legislation to criminalize women in their bodies. So after she had let that be known, that lady, I guess, got in her feelings, and she said that they didn't talk to each other anymore. So from that all that lady was caring about was how she looked, how everybody looked at her. You know what I'm saying? So she still had those feelings deep inside of her, regardless of openly trying to give her an apology to try to make herself look good, but she still believed that way.
Well, the truth is the light, and it can set you free, or it can hamstring you. And in this case, she was not prepared to accept the truth about the situation. So, but what she was looking for was validation that
Hmm.
she wasn't one of them,
Right.
and and that's not what she got.
Nope.
She got truth, and truth um, really wasn't what she really was hoping to get.
Right. She thought that because every time we are met with brutality, we are always expected to, they tell us, calm down, keep the community calm down. We're always told that we're the only group of people that are told in the face of our of brutality that calm down, keep calm, and don't get upset about it. Like, we're the only group of people that are made to do that, or they ask us to do that.
I don't know why, because we are not, collectively speaking, we're not a violent group of people,
We're not.
collectively speaking.
We are not. And like with the stereotypes of how they try to present us on TV and the movies and things like that, that's another reason why I don't support anything that the Western entertainment or celebrities put out. I just don't do it. Regardless, I just don't. I'm not going to support it because even the POC actors and actresses that they use, that's exactly what they're just doing. They're using them to tame the face of their shenanigans. And
Of
it's
course.
always on their terms. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? There's a new movie coming out with Viola Davis. I've seen the trailer. It looks very impressive, but I'm not impressed by the fact that I know behind the scenes the reason it got released and the way it got released is only on the terms of a palm colored person. So all of that movie is still based on the terms of a palm colored person that's using the black and brown face to market and sell that movie. I don't support that. Just don't.
Well, by the time I see a black movie, it's already 20 years old.
Right, right. I just don't support it. And then, like with the Black Panther, I wanted to see Black Panther, but the reason I did not support Black Panther had nothing to do with my blackness. It had everything to do with my blackness. I'm not going to support Disney. A Disney does not mean, especially little black kids, any goodness. There's nothing good about Disney. I'm not supporting it.
There
And
was
everything
a
associated to it with it.
there was a something on Twitter today where these cute as you want to be little black girls had gone to Sesame Place,
I saw that.
and I wrote because they were calling for to bring them back and give them the VIP treatment and take them backstage, and I wrote, uh, why would we want to take our little princesses and carry them back to where the message has already been sent that they're not welcome? Why would we put them in the midst of crazy cart Karen and her
Mhm.
ghoulies? Uh, I mean,
And that's my question. Like that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. So that happened. Okay, collectively, all of us that look like us, that situation hurt our heart for our kids' sake and our grandbaby's sake. Why are we giving these people money? Even if we don't
well,
go to another parade, something anything that's associated with those people. Why are we giving them our money? We have more power than
yes,
people realize.
but why are we asking to be brought back for a VIP treatment? What the heck is a VIP treatment? They
Well,
already
that's
told
what I'm
you.
saying. I personally wouldn't go back, and I definitely wouldn't. I would respectfully decline it all. But then
Well,
on top of that, though, I'm just saying, as a collective, all of the black people that saw that video, all of those people that saw it, close your wallet to them.
and everybody who saw uh, the uh, the Twitter feed about it
Mm-hmm.
would be calling out whoever the person was who said bring them back and give them the VIP treatment and have them go behind the scenes and
Nope.
for what?
Nope.
Nobody. Racism is racism,
Yep.
and taking them and giving them the VIP treatment does not erase the racism.
That's why I just don't understand that. You know those videos of these rich rappers whining and crying about going into these exclusive designer stores, whining they just don't want to take my money because I'm black. Why are you begging for these people to take your money? There are plenty of black designers.
Hmm. Michelle Obama found them all.
Yeah. Go to the black designers then. Why are you begging these people that hate you and all likes of you, regardless of your money? Obviously, you got these stacks and wads of money, and they still treat you the same thing. Why are you begging to give them your money? Why?
Please, Mr. White Man, take my money.
Why? I just don't get it. I don't get it. That pisses me off when I see stuff like that. I don't feel sorry for those rappers that do that. You get what you sow. You got all that money, and you still being treated like dirt. I
And
don't feel
treat it
sorry
like
for
the
you.
rest of us.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for you. You got millions of dollars, and this person has basically still said you're the N word, and we don't care about your millions of dollars, and we go step on you like dog dung.
And you
Okay,
still, and we're gonna step on you, and you
yeah,
still gonna come back and beg us to take your
yeah. And
money.
why? Why? I mean, the statement is the money. The
Hmm.
statement is the money, plain and simple. That's
Hmm.
what's gonna stop all this nonsense.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep. 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 And again, they throw us breadcrumbs because I think you and I did the other podcast about Mr. Ice Cube, I think it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
and
yeah. About the reparations. Yeah.
his $100 million, which is nothing for the NFL. I mean, they're rolling in money, and they're making their money off of the skills and the expertise of black players.
That's what disappointed me about the whole Colin thing. Like, all they had to do was stand behind Colin for at least 2 or 3 games, just 2 or 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and not show up. That's all
Mm-hmm.
they had to do. All of the black players. I don't care about the other ones. All of the black, because the black players are the ones that are the team anyway, that do the game.
Yeah,
That
but
there, when I saw them bend over for those owners, you know why I'm saying it like that, and not bow out and not show up to the. They had enough money to pay whatever fee or fine or whatever to not show up 3 games to make a statement.
now allegedly a whole lot of them they spend their money fast as they get it. So a whole lot of them allegedly couldn't afford to miss those games because they didn't have the money.
I just don't believe it because they would have gotten more if they had just sat out 3 games. 3 games. That's not even 10 days, like the general strike I was talking about. 3 days because they are the team.
Well,
Let them other palm colored people out. I mean that would have just been the hugest spectacle if all of the black players sat out for 3 games and you see these palm colored players running around. I mean, that would have just been the hugest statement. So you know what I did after that? I unfollowed every NFL football game team. I checked off every black player that I will never ever support or look at the same again because basically they bent themselves over to allow those owners to dictate.
and
And
again, mind
seeing
over
that,
matter.
yeah,
If
that
they
that
thought
that's weakness.
that too, if they thought that they were in a financial bond and plan was what was going to keep them, living the life, then they chose that over supporting a fellow player, a principled fellow player.
Mhm.
So there you see, they weren't that committed.
Nope. I mean, we have to keep going back to the saying, not all skin folk, kin folk. And whatever happens to them, like after that point, I have no sympathy for them. I have no sympathy when any of their names come up in the news, like this happened to such and such or whatever. I'm like, well, you know what? That's what they bent over for. So they
Yep,
can
too
deal
bad.
with it. They can handle it. They get no support over here. Because I grew up with the NFL just like everybody else, and we spent money on merchandise. But like I said, after I witnessed that and how they behaved with Colin, I haven't had it on in my house. All of the NFL merchandise that I've ever had, like my late husband stuff, I folded it up and packed it up, and it's like stuffed into a corner in a box. I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that could be boycotted, and it doesn't have to be your local supermarket. It doesn't have to be your rent, because you still need a place to stay.
Right,
It doesn't have to be your utility bill, because you can't stay in a place and not have utilities.
right.
But there are so many other things that you could just remove from your life.
hmm I mean, necessities, yes. Get your necessities. But other than that, no extra. I mean, no. It's so easy. It would be so easy, and you see that it's so easy. But then you see how people are so conditioned. They let themselves be so conditioned to think they need certain things, or they have a fear of missing out, or whatever. And it's like you don't need that, really. Like,
Again, people on lockdown couldn't go any place. All these people, I'm telling you, about 30 or 40 people in line with their mask on, social distance apart, waiting their turn to go up, fill out the little order blank form, and wait for their orders to be filled. Again, where are you going? You're in your home.
That's right. That's so distressing though. It's like you and I mean, we get it. And it's not just you and me. Like that's the thing. We could organize. We could get more people to organize. We just have to get like one spot where we can organize because what we're talking about, we're not the only ones talking about this.
And we just have to be cognizant of the fact that we would have been much more successful had it not been for internet. Because again, I believe that there are people who cannot go without shopping, and they're the ones who are going to be online ordering this dress and this pair of shoes and this bag and on and on and on and on and on. For what reason? You don't need it.
Right. It's like where are you going? Because even still, there's some places now because the virus cases are rising again.
Because when in Chicago at the conference, we had to be masked the entire time we were there. There was no, you don't have to wear your mask, sit over here, and somebody sit over there. No, 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 no. You cannot come through those doors without your mask.
Right.
And on the airplane, only me and a few other people had our mask on. Everyone, girl, they threw the mask away months ago.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm wearing my mask.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I look. I'm gonna play this little video here. Let me see. Let me pull this up. I posted this last. I posted this last night, but when I saw it, I was like, I have to post it. I mean, like there's one thing about my TikTok. I use it for a lot of.
Now,
Oh
a
yeah.
deadly virus is in the air. It spreads like smoke when we talk. It spreads when we cough, when we sing. Even breathing quietly is enough to spread it. And just like smoke, the virus hangs around for hours. But it takes just seconds to breathe enough to get infected. Don't breathe it in.
I'm OCD.
Wear a respirator whenever you're sharing air. Not one of those leaky surgical masks. Use a proper one, rated at least N95 or FFP2. This will stop you getting sick. Don't breathe it in. Open windows. Get the virus out and get fresh air in. Wear a respirator. Get fresh air.
Now they got smart about those respirators because I have several of the respirator masks, and you can't wear them on airplanes.
What the respirator mask?
You can't wear them anywhere like a medical facility, hospital, any place like that. And then Saturday, I had it on Friday. Nobody said anything. Saturday, I had it on, and it's the respirator, the filter, and
Is
you
it
just
the N95 or something like that?
these are are filtered masks so that you turn the switch on, and the air
Oh,
filtrates, so it pushes out any bad
impurity.
particles, and you get supposed to get pure air.
Okay, okay.
So Saturday I had it on, and they told me I couldn't have it on. So I said, well, I had it on yesterday and nobody said anything. And they were like, well, we just missed it. But you're in a building where they're teaching classes. What in this building prevents me from having this this mask with this filter on? And they were like, we don't know, but they told us you can't do it. So I said, okay, no worries. I tell you what, one of the reasons I have it on is I have sinusitis.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be in here all day long, and at some point my sinuses are going to erupt, and they're just going to drip like the waters
So
of.
what was the reason though that they said you couldn't not wear it? They give you a
They,
reason?
they, they never gave me a reason. So what they did was they gave me some mask and said you have to wear this. I said okay, no worries. When this mask is soaking wet, I'm just gonna come up here and get another one. I said so much. The sister said, "Go ahead, keep the mask that you have on." I said, "No, I don't want to get you fired." She's like, "No, I got it." But she couldn't tell me why. All she knew was that they told her if there anybody comes in and they have those masks with the filter on them, that they can't wear them. I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Ah, what is going on?
So anyway,
So that was at the the meeting that you had, right? And they
this was at the conference,
huh.
yes.
Oh, what is going on?
But again, nobody can say why or why not. So if you can't tell me why or why not,
Mm-hmm.
then why am I doing this if you have no logical explanation for why I'm doing this? Now, on planes, they say it's because of the oxygen that is provided on the airplane, and the possibility of a conflict between the air that's passing through my mask and the air that's on the airplane.
And that
Well,
still doesn't make sense.
it makes no sense, but guess what? I'm not prepared to test it and get booted off the
Right,
plane or
right, right.
get put on the no-fly list.
Mm.
So I I don't even test them. I may have the mask I put them in my suitcase, and when I get where I'm going, then I put it on. I just wear like on the airplane yesterday, I was double masked. I had two of those masks that have the filters in them, and I put one on and put the second one on over top. And somebody said, "Do you have two masks?" I said, "Mm-hmm, sure do, double mask."
Right, because you just saw that video I just played. I mean, it's like the sprays that's coming from every which way.
Mhm.
I mean,
It
why
was
why are they trying to make people? Because like I said, I'm OCD. I've been vaxxed. I've been boosted, but I just don't like the idea of being in close proximity of somebody else and their body fluids.
well, I don't like the idea that one, you got little kids coughing and
Right, right.
sneezing. You got adults coughing and sneezing, and and and
And they're
and.
forcing you to sit there and subject yourself to that.
Mhm.
What the heck? That's what I'm saying. What is going on? Because oh my goodness.
So I'm like saying, hey, y'all think it's gone? It's not gone. They're talking about it's really bad in California right now. I need them to hurry up and get rid of it in California because I have a speaking engagement in California in November. I surely do not
I want
want.
to go with you. Let's go to Canada. Let's go visit Canada. Do a speech in Canada. Oh, speaking of which, like I want to touch on. So I came across this Asian guy's video, like what I was explaining about my production company, and he basically said the same thing is what I'm trying to accomplish with the company. So I'm gonna play this short little video of what he said. It's basically kind of like what I let me see. Hold on a second. So he's basically saying the same thing about what I've said about Hollywood. So I'm gonna flip this around. So and it's from his perspective, but it's the same thing that I've been saying. Like I just for POC, we need our
Check
own.
out this article from Deadline Hollywood from back in May about Squid Game. How the Korean smash hit Squid Game proved the potential of non-English TV. Deadline disruptors. Now, I want my fellow creatives in entertainment media, film, and TV to really pay attention to this headline, okay? Because it kind of says everything that really matters going forward, especially for Asian Americans and Asian diaspora creators, either in entertainment media or working to break into entertainment and Hollywood. So for the longest time, Hollywood and executives and all the gatekeepers there has always told us Asian Americans that Asians don't sell. I've actually had a screenwriting professor just a couple years ago tell me exactly just that while I was in grad school in Los Angeles. So the smash hit success of Squid Game, which is a full-on Korean production with a Korean creator and the Korean language, succeeding globally in such a crazy way. I think it was number one in 94 countries where Netflix is viewed. Is just a complete indicator of just how behind the times Hollywood has been regarding Asian representation. So what the global success of Squid Game represents to me isn't so much as a paradigm shift, but as hard evidence that the paradigm has already shifted. And it didn't shift in Los Angeles or Hollywood or the United States. It actually shifted abroad, straight up from the Asia Pacific. And this is very important for Asian Americans, creators and producers and writers and directors to understand. It means that if you're a creator working in entertainment, especially if you're an Asian American creator, you shouldn't be looking towards Hollywood for direction in terms of what's going to sell big next. Because frankly, they have no fucking clue, as evidenced by the fact that this success of the show caught them by surprise. So if traditional Hollywood bigwigs and gatekeepers are no longer the ones setting the direction or pace of entertainment creativity globally going forward, that means that the biggest and newest IPs, franchises, entertainment brands, and universes being created right now are probably being created by people who are not necessarily in the system or in North America. That means Asian creators in Asia and Asian diaspora creators and Asian Americans who have a cultural acuity and language connection with Asia probably have a better clue and better instincts as to what is going to sell, what people over there, the world's largest consumer base with 40 to 50% of the human population on Earth with growing purchasing power, probably want to see going forward. So time for Asian Americans and diaspora creators who have Hollywood training, know what sells, knows how to put a good story structure together, knows how to create epic franchise content, is to build for that audience is right now. Do not fall asleep on this moment. Do not wait for Hollywood to give you the green light. Open it. Check out this article from
So that's exactly what I've been saying. We don't need them anymore. People are turning them and their perspective on how, especially dealing with the BIPOC diaspora. So he was stressing Asian diaspora, but I'm including the Asian, the Black. We don't need them. We do not need them.
And they are not so dumb as to not realize that, which is why all of these things are happening. They feel in themselves that they needed to overturn Roe v. Wade so that now you don't have any choice but to have that baby. So there will be more opportunities because they say more Euro Americans have abortions than anybody else. So now they can put a stop to their Euro American daughters and nieces and wives and et cetera, from sneaking off and having an abortion because their numbers are shrinking. And they didn't believe 10, 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when it was said that there will come a time when they will be in the minority.
Right.
In all ways. I mean, it's not just this dude talking about, let's skip over Hollywood and do our thing. It's in all ways. And I don't know if I told you, there is a list of who will have the greatest population footprint in a few years. Nigeria. There are maybe 4 countries on that list of top 30 who are not of color. So all around them, they are being phased out by the black people. And
Hmm.
I'm not sure if East Indians are considered brown or black, whatever.
Brown,
We're
brown. The
so
brown.
so so the brown and the blacks are um they're taking over slowly, but all of a sudden it's just going to mushroom, and there's nothing about it because
Nope.
it's imminent. Say 7, 9 years, they're going to be phased completely out as far as being the majority is concerned. So all the stuff that they're doing now, overturning, they have not done it, but there is
It's gonna
discussion
backfire.
about
It's gonna backfire.
overturning. That's right. And the whole thing about overturning same-sex marriages and, all these things so that they can position themselves to be in a procreation mode. It's too late. It is
Right.
absolutely just too
And
late.
it's going to seriously backfire. And then, like with what we were saying about with Hollywood, there's already been an effect, a cause. Well, there's cause and effect, but there's already been effect on their bottom line for the past since the pandemic, since like right before the pandemic, and then when the pandemic happened. Well, they did not get their footing after they lifted the lockdown and quarantine because
Mhm.
people are not interested in these white savior films anymore. They're not interested. They're not interested. The celebrities are complaining about how like TikTok is stalling their attention. Starving them of their attention. Nobody is interested, especially in these palm colored entitled celebrities. What they're doing, we don't care because all they did during the pandemic was flaunt their wealth and their trips and stuff like that, where everybody else is at home freaking out, not knowing how they're going to pay their bills, and the bills keep coming, and they can't go to work, and they have no food and stuff like that. People are turned off, especially by these palm colored people in Hollywood, and it's affecting their bottom line. They're doing all these op-eds, and it's like they can't figure it out. Like that dude said, we need to take the helm, and that's what I've been saying even before um, the new year came. I said people are starting to turn off their music. They're starting to turn off their movies. They're starting to turn off their TVs, and nobody believed me. And like he said, the success of Squid Game, we cannot give them the chance to come slither in on the success of something like the Squid Game. That's just an example. Now they want to come in and slither in on their success because they, of course, didn't take them seriously because they were Asian. They're like, oh, they're Asian. It's not going to be all that big. Well, like that dude said, the success came out of nowhere. Nobody expected Squid Game to be as successful as it was. Now these white people want a piece of it, and we can't allow them to keep slithering in and coming to get a piece of everything that we put out.
Mhm.
That's what my production company is about. That's why it's BIPOC Center for Black, Asian, Latino, Native Americans, Indigenous. Those people that want to join, it's going to be peer supported and BIPOC Center, plain and simple.
Mhm. Well, this has been fun, but I gotta
Oh,
run.
Miss Kittis, I love talking to Miss Kittis. I want to keep you forever.
Gotta run.
Okay, I know. Well, we gonna come back. Look, I'm gonna work on some more topics for us this week.
Okay.
Bye, Miss Kittis. Wait. Hold on. Let me pull up. Let me pull this up here, and then we've got to have our. Let me pull this up. I gotta pull this up before I close out, and I forgot to have. Oh, I forgot to have it up here. Here it is, right here. Okay. I didn't have another one. Back up. Gotta pull this. It's taking a. Okay, there it is, right there. Got it. I'm so happy to talk to Miss Kittis though. Okay, let me. There, there we go. Today's show was brought to you by Oye Coffee. And our call to action is to get involved, leave questions. Anybody have any questions about our topic today, about the NRA, about BIPOC entertainment? Miss Kenneth, what was the other thing we were talking about?
Boycotts, economic.
Boycott. Yes. Any questions, leave them in the comments, and we will get together our notes for the next show and discuss it on our next show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.